So the troubleshooting process in BGP requires use of several show and a couple of debug commands that you should be familiar with, and we're going to look at those right now. First the show commands and then the debug commands. Show commands, obviously you have the show IP protocols. It's going to show your BGP status of your neighbors, your autonomous system number, timer intervals, and networks being advertised in gateways. And this ends up being helpful for troubleshooting neighbor relationships, missing routes, summarization problems, and filtering issues. Show IP route BGP is going to show the BGP routes advertised by the neighbors, the administrative distance. If there is a metric multi-X discriminator value, it's going to show it. And then the route source of the interface. And again, this is helpful for missing routes, summarization, filtering, and other troubleshooting issues as well. Show IP BGP summary is extremely helpful. It'll show you your configured peer IP addresses, your AS number, the number of messages received and sent. If those are 0, you've got big problems. How long the session has been up. The state, meaning is it active? Is it idle? Is it established? And if it's established, it's not going to say established in the BGP summary command, but it'll show the number of prefixes that are being advertised. And this is very helpful with neighbor relationship, local configuration issues, and certain routing problems. The show IP BGP neighbors command, and there's two forms of the command. The first is just show IP BGP neighbors, which will show you the IP address of neighbors, the router ID, the state of that neighbor, peer group if it's configured, the BGP messages and type received, and so forth. However, you can actually also show how many routes that you are advertising or receiving, and actually the actual routes you are advertising or receiving, doing the show IP BGP neighbor, the peer IP address, and then received routes for routes being received from that particular neighbor, and advertised routes for routes being advertised out to a particular neighbor. And this can be extremely helpful in being able to attack certain causes of routes missing and so forth. And this is great for neighbor relationships, local configuration issues, and certainly things related to BGP routes added, missing, or those that should be present. Show IP BGP obviously shows the entire contents of the routing information base. It'll show you your network mask, prefix, all your different path values, AS path, local preference, weight, multi-exit discriminator, and so forth. It's helpful in troubleshooting missing routes, filtering problems, and general troubleshooting. The debug commands, these are more for real time than just trying to look at settings. But you can do debug IP BGP peer, the particular IP address, and then the updates. It's going to show you everything that's going on with neighbor adjacencies and relationships. And it's helpful in troubleshooting routing issues, routing update issues, and neighbor relationships. The debug IP BGP events is helpful in looking at different network events, interfaces that go up and down, processes that change, the neighbor relationship change, and so forth. It can help with convergence issues, interface flapping, and routing update issues.